Welcome to Web3 Reviews. It is Friday, May 16th, and we're going to be talking about the crypto market. Let's go. Stick around for the end of the episode where I'm announcing the winner from last week's 1,000 subscriber giveaway. Last night, I had the opportunity to go to a rock concert. Emily Lazar and September Morning came to town. September Morning sells their songs on Gala Music as NFTs. On Gala Music, when you buy a song, as that song is streamed on both Spotify and Gala Music, you earn rewards for that song. So by buying an NFT song, you now are in the music industry as somebody who earns royalties. Where else can you do that? Maybe Tune FM, maybe Audius. There are a few other crypto places you might be able to do that. Whenever I'm able to do something in real life that crypto has enabled, I want to make a video about it. So Emily Lazar on September Morning came to town. I got to go to the concert. Here's some footage of me going there, and here's some footage of them performing, man. I'm gonna just have it playing in the background while we do the episode. Like I said, stick around for the end for me to announce the winners. Thank you guys very much for being here. Let's jump in. You guys seen this? This guy, Hayden, he was on Tinder for 5 years, and apparently Tinder has stats now. It said he swiped right 2 million times. 2 million times and got one date. Bizlet says it's time to Thailand max, bro. And there have been people online talking about this and talking about how the passport bros are in the right. There's nothing wrong with the passport bros. Now, part of the passport bros lifestyle is making sure you got money to be able to live. There was a time based on Gala Games note income, I thought that I would be able to go overseas and support my family for a little while. And it was a romantic idea because we know the cost of living in the USA is high as hell. But if you could go somewhere like Thailand where the cost of living is cheaper, but the amenities you get are more, it sounds nice, man. And it's a good thing I didn't, man, because the thing is that things don't last forever. You got a good thing going, enjoy it while it's there. The Gala Games nodes are effectively being shut out. People bought these nodes anywhere from $1,000 up to $80,000 from Gala Games, and that wasn't enough. Here's what Benefactor has to say. Pay attention. In mid-June, we will implement phase alpha of the 1 million node staking requirement. In the alpha phase, node operators will need to have in their Gala.com account Gala in any form, including allowances, in order to receive distribution. Operators will receive rewards proportional to the fulfillment of staking requirements. Example, if you would have earned 1 million Gala and you only have 250,000 Gala in your account, you will receive 25% of the reward, which is 250,000 Gala. The remaining 750,000 Gala will be split between nodes that have met the requirement. Does anyone know what this means? I mean, seriously, I'm having trouble even understanding this. If you would have earned 1 million Gala and you only have 250,000 Gala in your account. So every day I earn 2,200 Gala. Does that mean I need to have 2,200 Gala in my account? I mean, this is vague, okay? We've heard it's a 1 million staking requirement. You don't have staking requirements right here. Yeah, you see? Crypto Gaming Saga gets it. Crypto Gaming Sage is saying the same thing I am. So if my daily reward is 500 Gala, I only need to stake 500 Gala. That's what it sounds like. Rambo says, no, it means if your node has only earned 500 Gala since you owned it, you only need 500 in your account to get the reward. For others who have earned more like 1 million Gala, you will need 1 million to get the reward. I think that's how it works. And dude, the thing is that it's so vague. We have people guessing. Okay? Which sucks. So things don't last forever. Thank God I didn't pick up my family and move to Thailand or the Philippines on the basis that I have these Gala Games nodes, which are just spitting out magic internet money. You know, the deal with staking tokens, the deal with nodes, is that you're relying on an ecosystem to maintain, man. There are some tokens which are so big, they literally aren't going to go away. We're talking XRP, man. It's so big. It's going after a use case of quadrillion. When you sell, it doesn't move the price. When Saylor buys billions of dollars of Bitcoin, it doesn't move the price. It's going to take something massive. But in Gala Games land, we were all called parasites if you took any profit at all. That's what you were called. You were called a parasite by the guy who created a token. And dude, that's a bad look, man, because here's the thing. Brad Garlinghouse, I don't think he would ever call us parasites for being XRP holders. If anything, I think that he said the XRP holders were great. We came together, 70,000 of us, and signed a document saying that we never had an investment contract with Ripple when the SEC sued Ripple. John Deaton, a lawyer who ended up running against Elizabeth Warren for a Congress seat or senator seat, he lost. The vote could have been totally hosed, whatever. He had 70,000 people sign saying, hey, we don't have an investment contract with Ripple. We didn't buy XRP from Ripple. And it's a similar deal here, man. If you don't have community, your project is nilch. Your project is only good as the community that you're able to garner, okay? And that's why we see things like Fartcoin and Dogecoin do really well, because they have community. It's not about the tokenomics at all. It's about the memes and the community. The problem with Gala Games, it reminds me of that Rick James episode of the Dave Chappelle Show.
Welcome to the Tanaka, a tanga tang tang, a tanga tung tung tang. Tom Murphy! What's up, partner? Darkness, everybody! Darkness is spreading! Go ahead, Tom. What did the 5 fingers say to the face? What? Slap! And by Celebration, bitches! Show time for your titties! I'm Rick James.
And for that girl backstage, make it perfectly clear. Never mind who you thought I was. I'm Rick James, bitch.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Cocaine is one hell of a drug. I don't know what's going on, okay? But I do know that these proposals aren't proposals if there's no way out of it. If I propose to you what I want you to do, and you say, no, I don't want to do that, and I say, well, too bad. You have to. That's not a proposal, man. That's a forced action. And you better submit to my will or we're going to have a problem. I'm going to turn off your nodes. Yeah, that 80K you already gave me, forget it. Not enough. Well, now this is fucking extortion, man. I mean, seriously. Yeah, and remember, buying anything on Gala is not an investment. Okay. Well, he's sure asking for an investment from us right now. The CEO of Gala is asking for an investment from us. Buy my tokens so the price will go up. That's what he's saying. And he knows that the amount he's asking us to buy is equal to the amount of Gala in total circulation. So this can't happen. If everyone bought up all the Gala in existence, there would be no Gala to trade. And so the point is to axe most of the node owners.
What is the 5 fingers say to the face? What? Slap!
And so don't trust these folks, man, because what is now probably isn't going to be the case in a few years in terms of what an ecosystem looks like. Get in on an ecosystem with a good guy at the top that's pushing a real use case, going after real world assets. You know, Gala games, man. The games never came. People are saying it. Billions of dollars was thrown into this ecosystem by community, by investors. Where did the money go? I mean, it just shows it doesn't matter how much you have. You can mismanage it. It doesn't matter. Dude, he gave Snoop Dogg $50 million in a handshake deal. You know, and he's giving the president of film and music a bunch of money. Probably gave Bitbender a bunch of money to be the president of Gala Games. You could blow through money. I'm sorry, even if you just have $1 billion, you give somebody 50 million, that's 1/20th of your wealth, dude.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
The Bitcoin therapist says just in, Coinbase is the victim of a cyber attack. Coinbase says what they got: the name, address, phone, and email, the last 4 digits of your social security number, masked bank account numbers, and some bank account identifiers, government ID images, aka your driver's license and your passport, account data, balance snapshots, and transaction history, and limited corporate data, including documents, training material, and comm available to support agents. What? Dude, they're able to see what support agents are able to see. Are you kidding me? Coinbase got hacked, man. And it wasn't the tokens that got hacked, it was the data. Dude, that is fucking ridiculous, man. That is so ridiculous. And you know what? I give Jason A. Williams a lot of flack because of his involvement in BlockFi, which went under, and his involvement in Swan Bitcoin, which went under. Both places which lost people a lot of money. Okay, I give him a lot of flack for that, man, because I took part in BlockFi, and BlockFi took my money to pay their legal fees. But here he says it. Breaking news, the Coinbase hack issue is KYC. The more KYC we have, the more at risk the user is. And this is completely true, man. You give your information to Coinbase and Coinbase gets hacked. Now what? These guys got your government ID photo. They got the last 4 of your social. They got all your information. I mean, seriously, this says right here that they have limited corporate data, including the training material and communication stuff available to support agents. So does that mean that the hackers got everything on accounts that a support agent would see when you load up their account? That's kind of what I'm reading from it. Bobby Shell says KYC malpractice will get someone killed, and Jason A. Williams says it certainly already has. Dude, you better be ready, man. I have an episode coming out tomorrow on Saturday about risk management, and we'll get into this topic more about risk management in crypto. You better be weary of the fact that someone's got your name and address, man. Someone's fucking got you on a list. This guy owns crypto. Let's wait and see how that crypto does. Let's wait and see until we can drain him at his max. 100% should be a lawsuit against Coinbase. Address and personal info should be highly encrypted and salted info. No reason for access to it after the initial KYC. I agree, man. This is total bullshit, dude. Anybody sick of these motherfuckers? Brian Armstrong gives us a 2.5-minute video about it, man. Coinbase said, cyber criminals bribed and recruited rogue overseas support agents to pull my personal data on 1% of Coinbase MTUs. No passwords, private keys, or funds were exposed. Prime accounts are untouched. We will reimburse impacted customers. What? And they say we will pursue the harshest penalties possible and will not pay the 20 million ransom demand and received. Instead, we are establishing a 20 million reward fund for information leading to the arrest and conviction of the criminals responsible for this attack. So they're asking for a ransom for all this data back. But man, once you have the data, you can just copy and paste it. So how would I know that you're going to delete it? You know, you can still have all this shit and ask me for the ransom. These hackers, man, these hackers are out of control, all right? We have to have blockchain that has a security buff that could stop these hackers. And this is a little bit of the problem with Bitcoin, is if you have a 17-hour transaction, you leave room for hackers to stop the transaction. Fix the money is a good point. I'm calling BS on this. I haven't touched Coinbase in 5+ years. I've been getting these Coinbase scam calls relentlessly only for like 2 years or so now. I believe it's closer to 100% of your customer list has been compromised, not just 1% of MTUs. Totally agree, man. But Dave says no. The Ledger leak, several others were put on the dark net. Scammers could have bought this list and just guessed that Mini's somewhere on the list and be using Coinbase. Fix the Money says, sure, they could have guessed. If you're a Coinbase customer, that's not a very smart use of a database, is just to make a guess judgment that immediately disqualifies your scam. The Ledger leakers used their own very carefully crafted scam. They wanted to maximize the use of their database. I'm sure there's some intermingling of crypto customers now in the dark net, but without a doubt, Coinbase's leak goes far beyond what is stated. Dave, why are you coming to the bat for Coinbase, bro? That's what I'm asking. It just pisses me off, man. It pisses me off that these people are so careless with our data, but they require our data to use their shit. Government overreach is out of control, man. It's out of control. I don't want to give my KYC. I don't want to create an account every website I go to. Every single place I go wants my email and my password. Every single place I go says they're going to give me rewards for buying if I sign up for their app. Shut the fuck up, man. Winston rewards. I don't want your fucking Winston rewards. If I want a pack of Winstons, I want a pack of fucking Winstons. I was at the gas station, man. It said download our fucking cigarette app and start buying fucking points every time you get cigarettes. Dude, and then I talked to my fucking coworker about it, and he said cigarette companies were actually the first people in on this nonsense. Going back to the Gala Games thing, you know, everyone online is saying that Lycan Warlord was right, Jesus Martinez was right. We had a lot of people who called out this nonsense 4 years ago in the last cycle. Hey, what's up with this? This doesn't seem right. This isn't how you treat your customers and your fan base, the loyal people supporting your blockchain. And where are the games? Why have no games come out? Seriously, Lycan Warlord, I owe you an apology, my friend. All right, somebody said it too, Hado Shadow. Hado Shadow is the creator of Fanscope, which we'll talk about Fanscope more in a later video. He put out a video 2 years ago calling Gala the slow rug. And nobody wanted to listen, man. It's a hard thing about listening to the pitfalls of the ecosystems in which you're invested. You don't want to hear it. You're gambling. You're in the casino. You've made a sports bet, and now you're watching your team. And you walked in there with a little bit of confirmation bias. You thought for sure that the Celtics were going to beat the Knicks in this series. You had some confirmation bias because you read some stuff online, because you watched how the season went. Well, things don't always add up the way that they did. Okay, 1 + 1 was 2 in the regular season, but in the postseason, it's not. Depends on the fouls, depends on the injuries. Year 1 might actually only be 0.75 today. If somebody's hurt, it's not going to look good. You're going to be down a man. What am I getting at here? The Lycan Warlord, Hado Shadow, Jesus Martinez, these guys were right, man. They were right. So invest in assets that are going to be here for 5, 10, 15 years. Invest in assets that have a stable CEO who respects his community. Because without community in crypto, you're nothing. The best projects will turn to nilch if they don't have community behind them. And there are 30,000 nodes online. You tell each node runner, hey, screw you. You got to give me 10, 15, 20 grand to continue running your node. I think most of those people say screw you back. I know it makes me want to do that. I'd rather throw my money at Songbird, at Flare, at Algorand, at XRP. Dude, there's so many different assets that have momentum, that have a lot of good shit rolling out, that aren't just asking people to buy their token so that they continue earning from their nodes. It's kind of a weak requirement. I mean, right now, I want to say that each node only earns $3-4 a piece. In order for your node to continue earning, you need to put down 20K. 20,000 divided by $4, it would take you 5,000 days, 13.69 years to get that back from your node rewards. And the thing is that node rewards go down. Gala has a baked-in halving, which goes on a linear scale as the tokens are burnt or used. So if the amount of tokens burned is over what the halving would have done, then there's no halving or a limited halving. But it's done by math now, and it's not done once a year. It's done every single day. And so Gala's whole pitch to raise money was that they sold nodes, sold NFTs, and that they sold nodes on games in which you bought the NFTs. Well, none of those games came to fruition. We have people saying they bought Townstar nodes for upwards of 10K plus, man. Anyways, it's a sad time out here. And that's the point, is that, you know, you would love to just say, hey, I'm just going to throw my private keys over here and I'm going to forget about them for 5, 10, 15 years. But if you're not paying attention, your asset could go belly up. The ecosystem in which you believe so much could have a CEO who calls you a parasite for even wanting to see Grandeur and says, I need another 20K for you to even stay online with your node. Forget the previous 20K you gave me. I need another 20K. And what if he changes it again? What if that doesn't solve the problem? Then he says, I need another 20K. Somebody said it. Why didn't he ask for 2K per person? If there's 32,000 nodes online, 2,000 per person would have been 64 million. Would that not have been a good hit for Gala Games? So yeah, they could have said that they only wanted $2,000 raised per person, and it would have been more reasonable. I want you to hold $2,000 of the Gala tokens. That way your node can continue earning. But that would have been too reasonable. So the amount was 1 million, which is $20,000 value. okay? I'm just saying, who's to say that the goalpost doesn't get moved again? We need you to hold 10 million Gala or your node's not going to earn. And so that's not just 20K, now we're talking 200K. I don't like goalposts getting moved. I'm okay with use case being changed as long as there's real world assets going towards it and not just smoke and mirrors. But man, you got to take a look at your investment every now and again and say, hey, is it losing? You know, you made a sports bet and you thought your team would win, and now you're watching Jason Tatum get hurt and the Celtics lose.
That would be inconceivable. It's inconceivable. 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 Inconceivable.
It's like The Princess Bride. You're like that dude. It's inconceivable, but it's happening. And so now you have to move forward. And there are people who are saying that they're putting over 200 grand to Gala games and they know they're not going to get anything back. And all they could do is smile and move on. That's painful, man. That's a riverboat gambler status right there. Go big or go home. And sometimes you go home empty-handed. That's why I don't believe in going all in on one asset. Now, I started my crypto journey by going all in. I was an XRP guy, all in. And one day I woke up and I realized I was a little bit too much all in. I was a little scared, man. I looked around the room. If XRP were to fail, man, I would be devastated. That's a sports bet that I can't stand to see lose. And everything that I'm seeing now says that our sports bet's going to win. Our 7-year sports bet, longer for the people who built the XRP out, who have been here for more time than this. This is going to make it, dude. It's going to survive. We're going to dominate. We're being chosen by the US government, dude. Trump went and met with the Saudis. And on that same day, Ripple made a deal with the Saudis. You can't make this shit up, man. We're making deals the same day Trump is making deals. Come on. Ripple's a plugged-in player, dude. XRP is USA's golden goose. We're in a time of Bretton Woods 2.0, if you would. We're deciding how the future of money around the world is going to work. And that's what happened at the first Bretton Woods. And so now, man, we're deciding how cryptocurrency and blockchain is going to be implemented on a world scale. We're going to have to level the playing field. We're going to have to open the door for microtransactions. And this is going to help people. It is. It's going to lower the barrier of entry. It's going to ease the use case for banks who are trying to make money on transactions, but who have to, in turn, spend money on fees for transactions. There's a lot of inefficiencies in the antiquated banking system. Blockchain is going to solve some of it. XRP is going to be the heart of this. And there's going to be other assets which survive the next 5 to 10 to 15 years too. And if you're in an asset that's good enough to survive, it's going to see great price appreciation. But if you're in an asset that all they could do is ask their community to keep throwing money down, that's a bad sign. That's a bad sign. You've never heard anyone at Ripple say, hey, we need you to come in and buy XRP. Every month they open up their escrow and they'll sell it to somebody over the counter. And if they don't, they'll put it back in escrow. You don't see them sweating about it, man. Choose good assets. Choose good projects that have good leadership. Dude, you ever worked at a company with shit leadership? You ever seen a franchise that has shit leadership? I'm actually surprised the Knicks are doing so well, being that James Dolan is such a shit leader. Usually if the top is rotten, the rest of the tree is rotten. But in this case, the Knicks are having a good year, man. I'm rooting for them, all right? This might be their only chance. All right, you made it to the end. Thank you for being here, for sticking around. So last week, the channel hit 1,000 subscribers. I said I was doing a YouTube giveaway for when the channel hit that mark. Staying true to my word, man. It looks like I'm giving $200 in FLR tokens away to Brandon M, as well as the leather strap chronograph watch. Thank you all for commenting. Thank you all for watching. Stay tuned. As the channel grows, I'm gonna do more giveaways, more crypto, more watches. Zach with Web3 Reviews. Brandon M, congrats on winning, man. Until next time, have a great weekend, guys. I got 2 episodes coming for you Saturday and Sunday. We got some weekend specials. If you're not busy, tune in, man. They'll be up at 8 a.m. Pacific time each day. If you're looking for something, tune in, man. Zach with Web3 Reviews. Until next time.